And I kind of feel like, was the water still running because I interrupted the cleaning process?
Because
Like,
you
were
were
they
calling and you
still?
were calling and they were like,
Yes.
wait, she might show up.
Well,
Damn.
I actually sent a text that said I'm coming over, and I feel like they may have just left at that point.
Wow.
So, um,
That makes sense though.
so you can see that in the crime scene photos. And one day, I know this may sound strange, but I think moms that may have been in this position will know. But I was on the back porch and I still had his vehicle and it was parked in the back. And I would just talk to Brandon and then say, Brandon, I need a clue. I need to understand what happened. And something told me to go to the truck, and the sun was just shining a certain way. And I start looking around. I don't really see much. And then I find a credit card, his Visa credit card, underneath the passenger seat, and it has blood on it.
What?
And then yes, and then I start looking and I start pulling out the mats, and I'm like, doing this because I see something on them, and I'm like, it's red. And I start looking and I'm like, I think there's blood in here. So then I start looking under the seats. I start looking everywhere. So I end up having a private investigator, Blue Star the vehicle. We pull the mats out. There was a decorative license plate, like that just has like Chevrolet on it. And that there was blood pooled inside that license plate, and that license plate was in the crime scene photos. And I have the blood tested, and it's confirmed that it's male DNA blood.
Can you test that it's his to make sure it's his?
Well, they couldn't. So, with what I sent in was the mat, and the PI had sprayed Blue Star on the mat, which probably diluted the blood.
Right.
So, it was not a strong enough sample to match that it was his blood, but it was male DNA. But I feel like the license plate that is, and I keep it off site, it's locked up. But I feel that license plate has enough in there that they will be able to test that, and his DNA profile has been made. So I think they can test that blood and they'll know that it was his. And then later, I am like, okay, so the bank needs to repo the vehicle. We're not
Mhm.
keeping it. So they want it back. And I'm like, okay, well, we really need to go through this one last time. And so the cup holders had these like funnel shaped things to them. So we start like looking through the console because that's where the Blue Star really
Lit
lit up
up. Yeah.
a lot. The whole truck did, the back seat,
All
the
inside.
floor, yes, all over the inside.
Like
Um,
spatter or just like pool, like just stain,
it looked like the back seats, somebody had wiped them down. So the Blue Star reacted all over the seats, but it looked like they had been
like
wiped. So it
smears,
was a very
swirls.
smooth, yes, very smooth. But
Wow.
underneath the seats, it looks like they didn't clean there. And it looks like blood with like carpet cleaning spray on them. And there was a can of carpet cleaner in the back seat of the truck, and it has what looks like blood on it. And the spray from the where I said the bathroom walls
Hmm.
had been sprayed, there was a spray bottle in the back of his truck. And the spray bottle inside the nozzle looks like it has blood, like where you put the nozzle back on. It looks like it has blood on it. Well, we take the console apart, and I've got to get it tested because he did chew tobacco. So I've got to make sure that it wasn't something like that spilled, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like blood, and it is literally soaked. So at
What?
this point, we are trying to figure out, was he transported in the truck? Because at first I thought, okay, is this where they had like cleanup and they brought things out to the truck
Like
and
back and
it leaked
forth. Yeah.
blood?
Yeah.
Yes. And there was also a swipe where the seat was moved, like where someone moved the seat.
Hmm.
And I know the female would definitely have to move the seat to be able to reach.
Right.
And she did send me a message that she had driven his truck.